Whilst I am very excited about this new wave of technology, my biggest fear is already coming to light. Hey guys, it's Matthew here from Hearing Tracker, keeping you up to date with all new hearing aid technology. And boy, are you in for a treat today. It was about a month ago that the world-renowned tech giant Sony and hearing aid manufacturers WS Audiology announced a partnership to join the OTC hearing aid race. And here we are with their first over-the-counter hearing aid collaboration. In fact, they're actually releasing two of them. Stay tuned to see exactly what they've got in store for us. If you're keen on keeping up to date with the latest news in the hearing technology world, then make sure that you subscribe to this channel, press that grey notifications bell, and you'll be updated every time we release a new video. You know, nobody saw this coming. And I'd like to think that I've got my finger on the pulse in the hearing technology space, and there were no signs whatsoever of this collaboration. I am personally very excited about the potential of WS Audiology, better known as Widex Insignia, working with the household name Sony, who are the third largest global manufacturers of headphones behind Samsung and Apple. What an incredible way to get OTC hearing aids on the map, make them cool, and find a way of getting the millions of people that suffer with a hearing loss globally and don't do anything about it to finally manage their hearing loss. So what developments are we going to see from this collaboration? Sony have announced that they're releasing not one, but two over-the-counter hearing aids, the CRE-C10 and CRE-E10, with differing functionality, target audiences, and price tags. The CRE-C10 is their invisible style OTC hearing aid, brought out to rival the likes of the Eargo 6. Similarly to the Eargo 6, they're designed to sit solely in the ear canal and have neither Bluetooth streaming nor rechargeability. So they're mainly aimed at those interested in a discrete hearing solution. Saying that, here's the branding from the US Sony website showing what they're expected to look like when they're in the ear. So I'm hoping that when I get my hands on them, they appear to be a little bit more discreet than they do in this image. They use a size 10 hearing aid battery, and Sony boast will give them around 70 hours of life, which, if that compares to a traditional hearing aid, will need changing roughly 3 days or so. In the box, Sony include a range of 4 sleeves to sit on the end, which are important from both an acoustic and a comfort perspective, batteries, a carry case, cleaning cloth, brush, and then the devices themselves. Now, one thing's got me puzzled here. As soon as I saw the launch of these new hearing aids, one big question popped into my head. Are these hearing aids actually new? WS Audiology released an online hearing aid called Vibe not long ago, and as far as I'm aware, it was available in the US, Switzerland, Japan, China, Korea, and Singapore, and looks remarkably similar to the CRE-C10, but without the Sony branding. They could also be fitted at home without needing an audiologist to be involved and programmed via your cell phone. This does sound very familiar. The second OTC hearing aid that Sony are releasing is called the CRE-E10, which is really designed as a hybrid between an earbud and OTC hearing aid. Following on from the likes of traditional hearing aid manufacturers such as Oticon, Phonak, ReSound, Signia, Starkey, plus other OTC hearing aid manufacturers such as the Jabra Enhanced Pluses, these new Sony OTC hearing aids are hiding in plain sight and look like a set of wireless earbuds. Now, hold on for a second. These also look very familiar, just like the Signia Active Pros that were released by WS Audiology back in April 2021. They're not currently available as an OTC hearing aid and also have to be prescribed and fitted by an audiologist. That's interesting. You'll notice here that the CRE-E10 is bigger and more visible than its invisible counterpart, and I would imagine that this is because it's rechargeable and has Bluetooth capabilities, which very simply involve bigger components that simply take up more space. When it comes to rechargeability, a single 3-hour charge will allow for 26 hours of continuous use as a hearing aid. Now, this might not sound like a big deal, but all of the wannabe OTC devices that I've reviewed this year have had a battery life of less than 10 hours, which in my opinion means they're pretty much a waste of time. So big thumbs up to Sony for this one. Having Bluetooth in these means that when paired with your cell phone, you can stream phone calls directly to your hearing aids, just like a standard set of wireless headphones. Plus, if you're listening to any media, such as the radio, music, or podcasts, that will come straight through to both of your ears too. Sadly, they only work with iOS, so if you're an Android user, then they won't have Bluetooth streaming functionality. Sony are marketing these OTC hearing aids as a do-it-yourself hearing solution for those with signs of mild to moderate hearing loss. and they're personalized using their Sony hearing control app. During the in-app self-fitting process, after assessing your hearing, each device self-adjusts to the most appropriate of predefined hearing profiles, which are apparently based on thousands of actual real-life audiogram results. The app itself then provides the user with basic controls to adjust the settings on the devices, such as a volume control and a few other undetermined parameters. When they're functioning as hearing aids, Sony are boasting that they'll analyze and optimize the settings based on your soundscape. And as they're wirelessly connected to one another, they should work as a system rather than working as two individual devices, which Sony states should help with better hearing in background noise. So if you're keen on getting a set, where can you buy them from? There are a couple of different options. Firstly, directly from Sony, and I'll post a link in the description to this video. Secondly, WS Audiology state that they should be available through their audiology network in the US as time goes on. At the time of making this video, the CRE-C10s are currently available for pre-order only, with an estimated delivery date of October the 26th to the 27th, 2022. And the CRE-E10s aren't currently available. However, you can enter your email on the Sony website to show your interest. Now, I do also feel that I have to give Sony and any other OTC hearing aid manufacturers a little bit of a reality check today. And that's based on having read all of the hype online preparing for this video. Whilst I am very excited about this new wave of technology, my biggest fear is already coming to light. And that's because these companies are already making bold statements regarding how these devices will function. For example, reading through one press article, they're boasting outstanding noise reduction and directionality. Oddly, I don't even make these promises with prescription hearing aids, as I know that the hearing tech can't replace the damaged noise filtering systems that we have in a normally functioning ear. Now, don't get me wrong, I would be delighted if these new OTC devices could overcome the challenges that those with hearing loss face in the likes of a noisy restaurant. However, I think it quite unlikely that with their first release, they'll be able to do a better job than the traditional hearing aid manufacturers out there that have poured millions and millions into finding solutions for these challenging listening situations. The other challenge that I do see with OTC hearing aids in their current form is that yes, they're a lot cheaper than a traditional set of hearing aids, as technically you are cutting out the middleman, who in this case is an audiologist, but the middleman does serve a purpose. And for me, $1,000 or $1,300 are still hefty price tags, plus you're left to figure it out for yourself. I would love to know what you guys at home watching think about these. Would you pay this amount without the support of an audiologist? Drop me a note in the comments beneath this video. At the same time, if there is anybody out there watching from either Sony or WS Audiology, I would love a breakdown on how this tech differs from your existing, very similar looking technology. I do hope that you found this video useful, guys. Make sure that you subscribe to be notified as soon as I have these Sony OTC hearing aids in my hands and I give them a full review. If you like this video, then go on, press the like button. And if you have any questions or comments, then make sure you drop them beneath this video and I'll get back to you as soon as possible. I'll see you in the next video.